When you think of Vin Diesel, you probably start to imagine the different muscle cars that he favored in the Fast and the Furious movies that he's been a part of for around 2 decades. And a fun fact about all of this is that you would be correct. The 52-year-old actor is an off-screen muscle car fan too. And while Vin Diesel does favor these types of cars like his character Dominic does, there are a few cars in his collection that might surprise you. 1993 Mazda RX-7. Vin Diesel's Mazda RX-7 is one of the only cars in his collection that wasn't made in the United States. This was one of the most popular sports cars of the 90s, so it makes sense that Vin should have one. It's a first model of its third generation, and it's a two-door that was notable for the engine's sequential turbochargers. The rear-wheel drive RX-7 ran with a base-level 1.3-liter twin-turbo engine, which produced 252 horsepower and was paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox. This car was also the Motor Trend Imported Car of the Year. 1994 Toyota Supra. Before we get to the muscle cars Vin Diesel is known for, let's look at the second of 3 Japanese cars in his garage, a 1994 Toyota Supra. This is one of the most heavily modified JDM cars on the market, first hitting the market as a Toyota Celica XX in 1978. The 1994 Supra is part of the 4th generation, with reduced weight and a turbocharged engine variant that could reach 60 miles per hour in just 4.6 seconds. 2009 Subaru Impreza WRX STI. While the Supra might be one of the most modified cars on the market, in terms of JDM parts, the Impreza WRX STI is probably the most modified on the planet. The WRX STI is the performance-oriented variant of the Impreza, with the addition of turbochargers. It's a great rival to the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Those two are some of the most popular street racing cars out there. Vin owns a 3rd generation model, and the 2009 version got an upgrade in power. 2010 BMW E60 M5. Another car that might not be expected in Vin Diesel's collection is this 2010 BMW M5, a high-performance variant of the 5 Series line of executive cars that was built by BMW's motorsport division. The first incarnation of the M5 was built by hand in 1985 on the 535i chassis, with a modified M1 engine that made it the fastest production sedan at the time. 1974 Barracuda Plymouth. Kicking off Vin Diesel's muscle car extravaganza is the 74 Plymouth Barracuda, the famed design's last model year, which ran from 1964 to 1974. Vin's particular Barracuda model did not come with the 426 Hemi engine. 1971 was the last year the Barracuda had this monster, but it came with the 5.9-liter 4-barrel carburetor engine that produced 245 horsepower. Nothing to envy, but gets the job done. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The Dodge Charger is one of the most iconic cars in America. First revealed at an auto show in 1964, there have been several production Chargers built in 3 different platforms and sizes, such as subcompact hatchbacks, full-size sedans, and personal luxury coupes. The 1964 Charger Daytona was a 2nd-generation model, and the first model of the year with a new redesign that increased its sales. 2011 Dodge Charger SRT8. The Dodge Charger SRT8 is like the Charger Daytona of the modern age. It was presented at the New York International Auto Show in 2005 and was powered by a 6.1-liter Hemi V8 engine that produces 425 horsepower. It featured upgraded Brembo brakes and the typical Charger interior and exterior updates. This engine was the most powerful V8 Chrysler had put into production at that point, and was capable of reaching 60 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle. Vin Diesel definitely has an affinity for Chevys, as any muscle car fan should have. The Chevelle was one of the most popular muscle cars of its time, produced between 1964 and 1977 as part of General Motors' A-body platform. This body style included coupes, sedans, convertibles, and even pickup trucks. The 1970 model was a second-generation unit that came with a distinct, scratch-sculpted body. 1966 Pontiac Bonneville. The Pontiac Bonneville is one of General Motors' oldest vehicles. Built by Pontiac between 1958 and 2005, these cars were full-size. The Bonneville, known as the Parisienne in Canada, and its platform companion the Grandville, was one of the largest Pontiacs ever built, with its great style reaching over 5.3 meters and 2,300 kilograms. This thing is a boat. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. Vin Diesel's car collection contains well-known cars, but also some that are more rare. The Roadrunner was a mid-size car, built between 1968 and 1980 for performance purposes. By 1968, muscle cars were moving from fast and cheap to being fast, by adding new features and increasing the price. It was powered by a huge 7-liter engine, a Hemi V8. 1970 Dodge Charger RT. Vin Diesel is a devoted fan of Chargers, something quite obvious that we can see well throughout the saga as Dominic jumps from car to car, and generally driving one of these powerful muscle cars. The 1970 Charger was the last model of the second generation. The RT, or road track version, came with a high-performance package. It was equipped with a 440 Magnum engine, of course, a V8. 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Grand Sport. The Chevrolet Corvette C2 Stingray was a second-generation sports car produced between 1963 and 1967, and it may be the most stylish car in Vin Diesel's garage. Vin's car is a first-year model, with a new design and a new prowess for powerful driving. Lighter than a typical Corvette, with its improved acceleration despite unchanged power. Between 250 to 360 horsepower is standard. 2014 Lykan Hypersport. The most powerful and exotic car in Vin Diesel's collection is his 2014 Lykan Hypersport. This $3.4 million car was built by Lebanese manufacturer W Motors. Only 7 units of this car were produced, making it one of the rarest cars money can buy. Its lights are framed with jewels, buyer's choice of rubies, diamonds, yellow diamonds, and sapphires, and contain LED titanium sheets with 420 diamonds. This car uses a holographic display system in its center console, with interactive movement functions and gold fabric on the seats. Without a doubt, the Vin Diesel car collection is one of the best that we could find, at least for muscle car fans. Although I must say that the JDM are a bit surprising. They are also models that practically any fan of the automotive world would have in their garage. So my congratulations to Vin Diesel and his incredible car collection.